Evening, everyone. The 15th of May 2016. It was the last day of the Premier League season that produced the most startling Premier League winners. The 15th of May 2021, the day Leicester City lifted the FA Cup for the first time. The 15th of May 2023, the day Leicester mount another stunning revival like they did the year before they won the title, or will it be the day they realise, in the words of their old friend Andrea Bocelli, it's time to say goodbye. Liverpool hope it's not the day that their Champions League hopes die. They are hanging on in there after putting 6 stunning wins on the board in quick succession. A win tonight takes them within just 1 point of Manchester United and Newcastle United in the race to reach the Champions League. Leicester have made 3 changes from their dismal day out by the Thames on Monday. Everson is their goalkeeper. Ricardo and Evans come into the back 4 with Fass and Castagna. Tielemans, Ndidi and Soumare make up a 3-man midfield with Maddison and Barnes supporting Vardy in attack. Their bench, Smithies because Ward's injured, Suter, Soyuncu's injured, Christensen, Amati, Daka, Mendy, Pratt, Thomas, Tete. There's no Dewsbury Hall, he's also picked up a knock. Liverpool have got Alisson in goal. The back 4 has been the same for a few weeks now. Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. Henderson comes into the midfield alongside Fabinho and Jones. Salah is joined by Gakpo, who moves from midfield into attack, with Diaz coming in on the left flank. And they'll both look to have a go at Johnny Evans, who's making his first start since November the 8th. You were quite scathing about the decision to include Johnny Evans at this stage of the season, but there's no doubt talent terms, he's their best defender. Is that why Dean Smith has pulled the emergency call?
Well, he's got super experiences and he's a calm head, so I understand it. Scathing is more surprised than scathing in that, I mean, I don't see the training, the manager does, and you could argue he's got to come back at some point, but you're asking a hell of a lot of any player to come back after 6 months out, 6 months not playing, and then to go up against this Liverpool side at the moment. I'm not sure it's fair on Johnny Evans, never mind the team.
Terrific atmosphere inside the stadium. The blue and white flags above the heads of the Leicester City supporters away to our right hand side and left, and in the corner a healthy contingent from Liverpool as well. It's blue shirts, blue shorts, blue socks for Leicester City in this first half, attacking the goal away to our left hand side. Liverpool all in red, attacking the goal away to our right. The referee is last year's cup final ref Craig Pawson. He's got Harry Leonard and Mark Perry in support, and Chris Kavanagh is on VAR. Tomorrow night it's Championship playoffs and Champions League semi-finals. On Wednesday it's the same. On Thursday the race for Europe takes centre stage, whilst we bring you RZ against West Ham, the second leg on Talksport 2. But tonight it's relegation and red redemption that is on the cards, and it's live and it's only on Talksport. There's still a slither of sunshine peeking over the top of the main stand here, the West Stand at the King Power Stadium, which is full to brimming with 32,000 Leicestershire residents hoping to see their team pick up a rare win. But it's Liverpool who are on the front foot immediately, with Diaz trying to get beyond Ndidi, who bites into a tackle and wins it in midfield. Centrally is Tielemans, and then Maddison is in and he plays the ball down the left hand side. There might have been a tug back early in the move there, and the referee, who played the initial advantage when the offence was inside the Leicester half, has refused to give Maddison a free kick in the opposition's half, despite the fact that he asked for one.
They're wide open then, Liverpool, actually, when they played the ball into Maddison. It was a good advantage from the referee, but he's pulled it back when they lost possession. It's the right thing to do. I see referees do that.
Leicester have won just the 1 game since mid-February. The sacking of Brendan Rodgers has not seen the upturn that many here hoped it would produce. The free kick taken by Evans is sent down the left, headed away by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Infield it goes to Johnny Evans again, who scoops it forward. Barnes gets his head in there. There was a foul by Alexander-Arnold. The ball was cleared away. That's going to be a free kick wide on this near side. Liverpool are the informed team in the Premier League. Klopp's men have been sparked by that comeback against Arsenal, and the confidence has been flooding back. Only Arsenal and Manchester City have won 7 games in a row this season, something that Liverpool are trying to emulate tonight. 2 minutes played, 0-0 at the King Power Stadium. Dark clouds over on the horizon, blue sky behind us, and a bright sunshine in the eyes of those on the far side opposite us, as James Maddison sets to work on a set piece on this near side. A couple of strides in from the left touchline and midway inside Liverpool territory. It's a high line from Liverpool. It's stripped in behind that high line, and Johnny Evans is attacking it, and Alisson was uncertain, and it skips behind and goes out for a goal kick. But that was an opportunity, a half chance for Leicester in the opening 3 minutes.
It's a great ball in from Maddison from the left, in swinging. You've got to know he's going to in swing it and make you run earlier and take the risk of being right on the line. Should never go through. It's interesting to see Maddison, and between Maddison and Tielemans, they'll swap on that right hand side and make sure one of them's picking up Trent when he goes into those central areas. I think Tielemans and Maddison have got the licence to swap positions in this system, one as a 10 and one on the right.
Ball goes into the left channel again, and Barnes does well to get the better of Alexander-Arnold, puts the ball out of play, and it's away for a throw-in the right full-back position for Liverpool, the visitors. Trent Alexander-Arnold is saying that there's a high foot from Harvey Barnes and complaining to Craig Pawson. Jordan Henderson is backing him up. Craig Pawson is explaining why that isn't the case. Down on the touchline, Jurgen Klopp's having his 2 penalties worth in. He's come right out to the perimeter, to the edge of his box, and he's turned around to Dean Smith in mitigation and said, come on, you must have seen that. And the referee is ignoring the situation, and it's out for a throw-in on this near side. 3 minutes played. Liverpool fans over in the corner, the northeast corner, over on the far side, standing, making sure their presence is felt here on the King Power Stadium. This one-tiered bowl with a blue carpet on its perimeter of its lush green playing surface. The ball picked up by Diaz, who's funneling backwards and falls over under very slight pressure, and they want to get it restarted quickly here, Leicester. Deep inside Liverpool territory, Maddison gets pushed to the floor by Diaz. That's going to be another free kick, and Liverpool haven't really settled into the game.
No, pleasing start for Leicester. I'm sure the manager's pleased. They've been high up in the Liverpool half a couple of times. Maddison looks sharp. Nice little turn. He stays on the ball so well, Maddison. He's got a lovely calmness and awareness when he's on the ball that drags people into him. And these are dangerous situations. This is what we were talking about, Harry Suter, and the possibilities he brings when he's in the team for set plays. Not the biggest side.
Talksport. Nearly 5 minutes gone, and it's 0-0 between Leicester and Liverpool. Maddison wide free kick on the right hand side, delivers it towards Evans, headed away by Van Dijk, chested down by Tielemans, who slips under very little pressure. There's an offside flag up anyway, and it's going to be a free kick to Leicester inside their penalty area, away to our left hand side. Leicester have become used to losing. The chaotic, frenetic, uncontrolled performance at Fulham was a disaster class in game management and defending. As soon as they went 1-0 down, they melted like a cornetto in the desert. They can't afford to do that tonight.
You ever had a cornetto in the desert?
I did do a massive walk for about 6 days through the desert. It wasn't a cornetto, but I did have an ice cream, yeah. Here is, you have to eat it very quickly. Here's Gakpo going through the middle. Good tackle by Evans, who timed it to perfection. It's cleared away by Fass upfield to halfway. And Castagna gets there first. Fabinho came in from behind Tielemans, who wasn't at it. And then the ball's played forward quickly down the right channel for Liverpool. And on the attack is Gakpo. He's offside. And it's a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area.
You see, that's a perfect example. Castagna, the ball drops him in left back, and he pops a little 10-yard ball into Tielemans' waist high that gets robbed by Fabinho. They're the balls where you've got to be a bit more pragmatic and think, look, we conceded 5 last week. I'm not going to play into the middle of the pitch in the first 20 minutes. I'm a fullback. I'm going to pop it in over Trent's head, and I'm going to let Harvey Barnes run in behind and turn this Liverpool defence. Just game intelligence sometimes. Some players, it baffles me when they don't think about the context of the game and what's going on.
The ball's been sent over that Liverpool defence now, and Konate's had to come out into the right-back position to deal with Harvey Barnes. Barnes takes the ball to the perimeter of the edge of the pitch, plays it against Konate, and wins the first corner of the game. Leicester City, who always start badly, they've scored the opening goal just once in their last 18 Premier League matches, and have conceded 57% of their 64 Premier League goals that they've let in the first halves of matches. Have started this game a little bit better. They have the ball away to our left-hand side. Maddison places it in the quadrant. They've got 5 to aim at, including Johnny Evans at the back post, right on the edge of the 6-yard box, running towards the near post is Wout Faes. It's headed away by Ibrahima Konaté, who takes complete charge of that situation. The ball bounces awkwardly for Salah, and it's nicked off him by Samare, but a couple of routes back towards his halfway line were cut off by Liverpool players tenaciously after the ball, and eventually it goes out of play on the far side and away for a Liverpool throw about 10 yards short of the halfway line.
It didn't look with that corner that they've got enough presence to cause Liverpool any problems. Got to be a bit cute and maybe play a couple of short ones, bring a couple of players out, just try and be a bit more inventive, because Liverpool are a big strong side.
Also, there's not as much muscularity in the Leicester team as there is in the Liverpool team.
Correct. Absolutely.
Alisson walks out towards the edge of his box. Brilliant piece by David Priest on game night earlier on tonight, talking about just how calm he is and what a brilliant goalkeeper he has been. And this season he's been terrific. Only David De Gea has kept more clean sheets. Here is Maddison getting through the legs of Curtis Jones, trying to get the strike away, blocked by Van Dijk. It's back in by Ricardo, comes fully into midfield to put a tackle on Diaz. The ball deflects over the halfway line, and scurrying back into his own half is Evans, and he gets it all the way back to Daniel Everson, who had a bit of a wobbly time down at Fulham. He made a mistake for the first goal.
See, that decision there, the goalkeeper's tried to ping one over Mo Salah's head to Castagna, who, even if he controls it, has got someone pressing him on his chest midway in his own half. I mean,
it's a wrong decision.
It's just so bad. What's he thinking? And why isn't someone saying to him, don't do that again, get the ball forward, we're on the front foot, we've got Vardy, we've got Barnes.
Liverpool send the ball forward. Konaté aimlessly in between the centre-backs. It runs through to Everson, the goalkeeper away to our right, who came in midway through the second half of the season. He was the player of the year at Preston last year when he was on loan in the Championship. He's kicked it long up towards Maddison. Van Dijk's got there first. Robertson, the Premier League defender with the most assists in Premier League history, scurries down the left-hand side. Maddison comes back and wins it. It's a real battle in midfield. Maddison is up for it. A little turn, and then he gives it away. One back by Ricardo Pereira, picked up by Tielemans midfield. Indeed, he waited too long to get it out to Barnes. It was blocked by Fabinho, who's quickly upon him, and it goes back to Everson. 9 minutes played, Leicester City 0, Liverpool 0 on Talksport. We're live at the King Power Stadium in Leicester on a pivotal night for both these two teams in their relative objectives. Here's Maddison holding on to it again, sends it forward towards Barnes, who's in behind. Hudson's had to come out of his area and tidies up brilliantly on the edge of the box. Got there ahead of Barnes, who made a lovely out-to-in run and was spotted by James Maddison, an incisive pass which could have caused problems.
Well, it was a high line from Liverpool, and Maddison nearly got Barnes in. It was a great run from out to in. Risky line it was, because he didn't have pressure on him.
Tielemans bending it round for Vardy, and Alisson's going to come out again, and he sweeps up brilliantly once more into the right fullback position, and it's cleared away and upfield looking for Salah. And it's risky business playing that high line. Liverpool's shown that over many a year, but with Trent Alexander now popping into midfield every time that Liverpool get the ball, there's even greater gaps in behind, and Alisson having to come back and fill out into that right fullback position. It's a new sight, but something that has happened a couple of times. Well, Danny Everson's just smacked the ball out of play again, but there was an offside flag, so he got away with it. You're listening to Leicester 0, Liverpool 0 on Talksport with Now Sports, and don't forget, with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Leicester versus Liverpool live right now for $11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports.
So that's all right. That's just a bad kick, but at least he's trying to hit Barnes, who's got the physical capability of out-jumping Trent. Logic, so it's the right thing, doesn't always come off, but if you're trying to do the right things.
Well, Leicester defence has been a big issue all season. We've long bemoaned their set-piece defending, but their lack of clean sheets in general is eye-watering, Danny. They are the only team in Europe's major leagues not to keep a clean sheet post the World Cup.
Yeah, that wouldn't bother me if my team was sitting in the middle of the table and they were good to watch. It wouldn't bother me.
It does bother them that they're in the relegation zone.
Exactly.
Here's Luis Diaz on the left-hand side, trying to set up Cody Gakpo. It wasn't a great ball. Indeed, he intervened and managed to bring the ball away to Maddison. Then Samare gets it back to Ricardo Pereira, but it was Liverpool's high press which put him under so much pressure that he couldn't release the ball properly. That's a great ball by Maddison. It's missed by Trent, and it's picked up by Barnes. He's on the left-hand side of the area. He took too long. He's fed Vardy now, but Alisson is out to smother. And it's a good save by the Liverpool goalkeeper. What a ball that was by Maddison to set Barnes on the attack. He then went racing clear down the left channel, but I think maybe he just took a little bit too long to make up his mind what he was going to do with
Exactly, indecisive. He didn't want to beat, he didn't know whether I was going to beat him one-on-one because Canati's so athletic. He was looking for the pass and he got caught in between two minds. It was a great break, but those type of opportunities aren't going to be too often. They've got to make the most of the spells in the game when they're playing well and make chances like that. But this is definitely looking like a possibility for Barnes down this left with the hole that Trent's leaving.
Talksport, 13 minutes gone in the Premier League, and it's goalless, with both teams needing to win. Liverpool wanting to put pressure on Newcastle, and Manchester United in the race for the top four. Leicester trying to claw their way back into contention to stay in the Premier League. Fired forward by Van Dijk, headed on by Henderson in the right corner of the Leicester penalty area. They've made good progress, but it's easily cleared by the blue shirts of Leicester, and then indeed he comes up to halfway, runs into Jones, gives it away sloppily, and Jones will send it down the left, but Andrew Robertson to gallop forward. On to Luis Diaz, who's only just coming back tentatively from injury. Cuts in, plays it square. It's on to Gakpo. Gakpo got it caught under his feet, but got away from Tielemans. Finds Fabinho. Everybody in Leicester blue retreating now towards the edge of their own penalty area, and Diaz is twirling away down the left-hand side. His right-footed ball finds Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's 10-15 yards short of the edge of the penalty area. Plays it wide into Salah, and then back through the middle into Virgil van Dijk, and Liverpool just starting to get a grip on the game now, 13 minutes into it. Salah finds Henderson. The run by Alexander-Arnold is an intelligent one, down to the right-hand side. He tries to send her across reverse into the box, but a lucky deflection finds Henderson, who whips the ball back to Salah. He tries to find Diaz with a left-footed guided missile in towards the penalty spot, but he can't control it, and Everson has it in his hands.
Well, Tielemans' job is to pick up Trent when he goes into the middle, leave Fabinho and make sure they pick up Trent, and I think that's good that they've made a plan for that. The only thing that worries me about Tielemans is more of a creative thinker and defensively can switch off at times, so he's got to stay really disciplined in that role.
Yeah, he's still only very young, is Yuri Tielemans, but he has been accused of not maybe looking as interested as maybe he should at this stage of the season.
I think it's his fitness. I don't think it's his interest. I think he can get much fitter and to be a top player and play in a bigger team, he needs to get a lot fitter.
Well, I think he'll be on the move in the summer. That's certainly the expectation. Indeed, good little shimmy away from Jones, and then played the ball into Samara, who was fouled by Fabinho. It's going to be a free kick just in front of the halfway line for Leicester City, who are attacking the goal away to our left. Floodlights on here, not that there's any need for them. It's been a beautiful day in Leicester. I walked from the city centre down the canal all the way here. There was a lot of rowing training going on.
Did you join in?
No, but it was an odd thing I saw that the coaches cycle alongside them on bikes.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you in a sec.
Here is Ricardo Pereira down the right side. He's won it back and then has to give it back to the halfway line, where Wout-Fast is going to try and bring it forward. He takes a little dance down the right touchline, goes down easily. The referee says play on, and Henderson has it back in Liverpool red. Here is Henderson forward towards Salah, centre circle now. Up to Henderson again, clipped into the air, and Salah is invited to chase. He goes down the right side, takes one touch to nudge it into an advanced position. Liverpool on the attack. He cuts in left-footed, trying to play a reverse ball, wasn't great. It went straight against Barnes and then comes back out to Henderson. Salah centrally. Alexander-Arnold, lovely ball over the top for Gakpo, and then the intervention from Fass was superb, and Castagna manages to bring it out on this near side, but he's loose and it's been picked up by Alexander-Arnold, who's popped it off the defender, and it goes out for a throw-in by the corner flag.
It was a pass from Trent Alexander-Arnold, the outside of his right foot, trying to get Gakpo in behind. It was a super little pass. You cannot let Trent have time on the ball there in the final third. I don't know if he was off. I just didn't quite see the replay, but it was a great little pass.
He should have hit it first time, actually, Gakpo.
He should have done, but the command from the manager to indeed Ian Tielemans is as soon as Trent gets the ball in our half, press.
That went out for a corner, so Alexander-Arnold is curling it towards the far post. Ibrahima Konate gets a header on the ball and sends it towards goal. He's now wrestling with Johnny Evans. Now, I don't think you can have too much complaints there, because he enveloped Johnny Evans in his whole body to try to drag him to the floor, and that is a free kick on the edge of the box, 0-0.
Yeah, back to the rowing.
Oh yeah.
I grew up in Chester, of course, where they do a lot of rowing on the River Dee.
There. You were posh, yeah.
No, yes, you did forget. And so I decided to have a go one day, many years ago, and only once. It's damn hard, that rowing.
Yeah,
I've got a lot more respect for Steve Redgrave and his mate, the ones who kept winning all the time, I tell you. Catch me on there again.
Yeah, which is why the coaches, I think, go on bikes.
Exactly, yeah.
Ball kicked clear over the halfway line. It's dropped out of play on this near side, and it's away and out of play for a throw into Liverpool. Here's Jones wrestling with Maddison for the ball in midfield. It runs loose to halfway, and then Wout Faes will take over. His shaggy hair falling behind him as he sends it back to Ricardo Pereira, who's been so unlucky with injuries and issues, and he gets it back to Danny Everson into Evans. Liverpool on a quest to repeat history that appeared almost impossible 5 weeks ago. On April the 8th, they were 13 points behind Manchester United in 4th. For the win tonight, they'll be a point behind them and Newcastle, albeit both will have a game in hand.
Just on that, you talk about someone's been unlucky with injuries.
Yeah.
Are you always unlucky when you're injured, do you think?
Sometimes you are, not always. Sometimes you are. Sometimes you can
go into stupid tackles too often. You cannot prepare. Your lifestyle isn't always perfect. I think there's a lot more, not particularly in this particular case, but I think it's easy to say, someone's always unlucky with injuries.
We're talking exactly this on the Game Day podcast, which is available on the Talksport app. You can download it and listen to our discussion about Dominic Calvert-Lewin and a little bit of insight about his body and why he gets injured so often. The ball is on the right-hand side. It's picked up by Henderson towards the right corner of the field. It takes a little flick out from Evans and away for a corner kick.
Gerard Houllier, when he'd been in a little while as a sole manager, and he actually started banning players from the medical room. He felt that some particular players quite enjoyed being in there. Banned them.
Was the music good, or rowing banter was good?
It's a social place that people used to go in and start feeling. It's a mindset thing.
Yeah. Here's the corner for Liverpool, who have got this mindset that has driven them to 6 straight wins, and they hope a few more might edge them towards the Champions League. They were renowned for being mentality monsters. That wasn't in display in the first half of the season, but it has been late on in the campaign. Here on the right side, Trent Alexander-Arnold delivers the corner kick. Van Dijk with a header, away by Barnes, in by Henderson, and it's loose inside the box, and Everson will take a couple of steps to the Leicester goalkeeper, grab it into his chest, and then wait before dispatching upfield. 0-0 the score. This is Talksport, and contentious decisions have been rife in the Premier League this week. I don't know what you made of the West Ham disallowed goal. In fact, I do know, because I watched it last night, but Howard Webb is going to be on the show with White and Jordan tomorrow. So whatever you are doing tomorrow, make sure you stop at 10 o'clock, put on the Talksport app or ask your smart speaker to play Talksport and listen to White and Jordan and Howard Webb talking about the implementation of VAR, some of the contentious decisions, explanations as to why they've been made.
What's he going to say about that one? What can he say about that?
Well, he can only say that they applied the law incorrectly.
Correct, yeah. Brilliant. That helps.
Here is.
I could go on and say that.
Well, I'm not saying that's the only thing he's going to say.
No, I know.
I think he'll have a little bit more insight than that.
No, I like Howard. I think he's been really positive. He's trying to give clarity. He's trying to make a difference.
And that's
all you can want.
And it's going to take time, by the way, to get the people across everything and understand exactly how he wants it to be. Here is Van Dijk out towards the left-hand side. It's still 0-0. We played 20 minutes here. It's been a rather uneventful last 10 minutes after a little bit of a helter-skelter start. It's pinged towards the edge of the penalty area, which Liverpool are attacking. Picked up by Diaz and then Henderson. Loose to Fabinho, who's 10-15 yards outside the box. It's sent wide. The Leicester defence sort of backed off there and hesitated and allowed Liverpool to have it. Salah into the area. And Diaz trying to get in front of Fass. Fass, who had a terrible time at Anfield when these two met. He scored 2 own goals in that game. He's now running back into position because Liverpool coming down the other side. On the left-hand side, Robertson combining with Diaz, getting to the byline. Low cross into the near post, away by Fass, and then it's out to the far side by Pereira, and it's a throw-in by the corner flag for Liverpool Football Club, 0-0.
Liverpool starting to grow into the game. They look nervous in the middle of the pitch, Leicester. Ndidi not comfortable at all playing out. Tielemans doesn't look particularly great. His body language at the minute doesn't look that as comfortable as normal.
All in the hands of Robertson, tucks it down to Van Dijk. Does confidence play a huge part in how you perform when you get into a situation that Leicester find themselves in?
Absolutely, because a lack of it creates, it means that physically you struggle as well. It brings you down physically when your confidence is low, and vice the other way, of course. When you're playing really well, you want the ball all the time, you make extra runs. I mean, Maddison's the one Leicester player who never lacks that bit of confidence. He says as he gives it away.
He's given it away deep inside his own half. He didn't have too many options. He was trying to get rid of it for ages, and he was running in circles, treading water, looking for help. He didn't get any. The ball's with Diaz over on the far side. Liverpool come again. Leicester haven't really got out of their own half for about 5 or 6 minutes here. Van Dijk, Fabinho, Alexander-Arnold, who's wandered into that central possession. It's Fabinho out to the left again, and Diaz, and then he nudges it infield, and Alexander-Arnold with an eye of the needle pass which almost made it through to Gakpo. Then Ndidi is fouled on the edge of the box, and it's cleared away. This sort of Liverpool run that Liverpool have been brilliant in, even if the wins have been sort of narrow at times, actually, you know, they've dominated possession. Their XG stats have been higher, and it has coincided with Trent Alexander-Arnold's move into midfield. He's got more touches, more through balls, more assists. The stats have gone through the roof for him. I think you'd expect an upturn, because naturally if you play in a more central position you get more of the ball, but it's been more productive, I think, than many people thought it would be.
Well, I think his willingness to take a risk with the ball is obvious, and that's why his numbers are so good. I still struggle sometimes watching a game of football when you know someone has his quality, that the other team doesn't do at least 1 or 2 sessions on the most productive player in the opposition team. Twice now, and we're only 23 minutes in, he's been in nearly the final third of the pitch, and there's no one within 5 or 10 yards of him. You leave other players to stick with him because they can't do what he does. Work on it in the sessions. Don't allow him time on the ball, because he's going to play. He's already had 2 goals. He's going to have a few more. Tielemans and Ndidi and Soumare between them have got someone has to glue themselves to Trent when Liverpool are attacking in the final third of Leicester's defensive part of the pitch.
Fabinho switches the play out towards the far side, collected by Robertson. Robertson gets it back to halfway. It's currently 0-0 for the latest odds. You can head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get the next team to score.
And again,
Leicester 7-4, Liverpool 13-8 on, no score 9-1. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. Go to ladbrokes.com, 18+, begambleaware.org. Oh, Evans, what is he doing inside the 6-yard box? He turned on a sixpence and ran into a red shirt. He's kicked it out towards the far side, and now it's picked up by Diaz. That was a little bit risky from Johnny Evans. Back to Fabinho, edge of the area, wanders past Vardy, plays it out wide. He's sent it too strongly out towards Robertson, who's had to stop and cut back after chasing the ball. Then wide on the left here, Liverpool on the attack. Still Leicester can't get out their own half at this moment in time, and it's now been about 10-15 minutes that they've been camped inside their own half of the field. Here is Konate, wandering forward, sending it wide into Salah. Back to Konate once again, then across to Trent Alexander-Arnold, infield to Jones. It's too easy for Liverpool at this moment in time. Wide on the left, Robertson, infield, more space for Diaz, more space for Alexander-Arnold. He didn't get his pass right, and now Leicester have to pounce, and Barnes trying to do that, tries to squeeze through a tight gap, was closed off. As a result of that, it's a free kick just short of the halfway line.
Do you know what it looks like to me? It just looks like a matter of time. Tielemans can't do the job. He can't stop Trent dictating the play in there in the game. He's following him around. He's trying. It's just not got the athleticism or the desire, whichever. He's not defensive minded. It's a really difficult job. I remember once, one of the first times I was asked to do it, ironically, it was an old teammate of mine, Deep Mahaman, running the game for Man City at Fulham, and they asked me to do a job and just stay on him. And for 5 or 10 minutes, I thought I was staying on him. And every time I looked up, he had the ball in space. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to man-to-man mark him and stop him. I've had enough of this. And I just followed him around the pitch and forgot everybody else on the pitch. And the game changed because he couldn't get on the ball. And it's a difficult job to do. It's a very, very difficult. The best I ever played a game, when I used to play holding role, like what Trent's trying to do now, Tim Cahill's the best I ever played against, stopping me doing it. It's the most disciplined, creative midfielder, number 10 if you like. A forward-thinking player doing the defensive side of the game. He was the hardest I ever played against.
Harvey Barnes just getting treatment after being sandwiched between Luis Diaz and Trent Alexander-Arnold. He was tugged back by both of them, crunched, and then I think just someone landed on his head, I think, which was the problem, and that's why he's getting treatment just in front of the centre circle. 27 minutes gone. What did he specifically do to stop you from playing? What was he good at?
He'd do things like mark you on the wrong side on a throw-in. So he'd mark you, if I want the ball on my right foot to go to my left, he'd mark me on my right foot and say, go on your left and I'll chase you down. And what he would also do in the first 10 or 15 minutes, every single time I played against him, he would leave one on me and take a yellow in the first 10 or 15 minutes, every single game. Bar none. Hammer me in a tackle, scrape me down the back of the Achilles. Because what he was saying was, I'm here, and I'll keep being here. And it puts it in the back of your mind for the next 20 minutes. Every time you get the ball, you think you're going to get hit. No one's laid a glove yet for Leicester and Liverpool player. They started first 5 minutes, 10 minutes fine, but now who's laid a glove on who? I don't mind a few yellow cards, a few tackles, making it spiky, getting the game going a bit.
Free kick to Leicester has just been taken. That was quite a lengthy stoppage. Barnes is back on his feet again, and he's went off after receiving treatment, has now come back on. He's picked the ball up on the left side of the Liverpool half, down the near touchline, looking to take on Henderson, who clips it high into the air and out and away into Leicester territory. He'll be mopped up here by Johnny Evans. Remember, more live football continuing this week. We've got such a raft of live football from different competitions. You will need the Talksport app this week. It's free, so you get access to everything, right? Luton against Sunderland in the Championship playoff semi-finals tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. At the same time on Talksport 2, Inter Milan against AC Milan in the Champions League semi-finals, second leg. Both those semis are second legs, so the likelihood is that you'll get some sort of extra time, maybe even penalties tomorrow night. You never know. Here come Liverpool down the left-hand side with Diaz dancing into the box. A right-footed shot into the side netting. And he was always going to struggle to beat Iverson at the near post, but it did just expose another vulnerability as far as Leicester are concerned, and there's a bit of an inquest going on.
I think Castagna played him on because he was so wary of Salah. Yeah, and Evans. I think he's onside. Can see Jurgen Klopp having a little bit of a pop. He thought Diaz was a bit too selfish there. It's a really acute angle on the left-hand side as he cuts in. Should have been looking for one of his teammates, I think.
Wednesday, Manchester City against Real Madrid is finally poised. That's on Talksport at 8 o'clock. Middlesbrough commentary will be on Talksport 2 at the same time. Thursday night, Newcastle against Brighton. I'll be there with Mickey Gray and Hugh Wozencroft whilst we bring you RZ against West Ham in the Conference League semi-final, second leg on Talksport 2. And Sheffield Wednesday against Peterborough in the League One playoff semi-final. That's on the Talksport app. 4-0 I think it was that first there. No one's really spoken about that game, so I couldn't really...
Well, because everyone knows Barnsley are going up.
Hey, don't. I've got to go to Wembley with that fella.
Bolton will have something to say about that, won't they, to be fair? They've had a great season as well.
Yeah. And the playoffs, the only place you can hear them is live on Talksport and Talksport 2. And we love the playoffs. Leicester want to stay in the Premier League and not have to worry about anything like that for a while. Castagna has it on this near side, and he's taken the ball out of the playing surface. It's going to be a throw-in on this near touchline. It's one back by Ndidi, given away to Jones, one back by Samara, given back to Jones. And then Jones gallops through the centre circle, feeds Diaz, who gets it caught under his feet. Jones takes it off him and runs down the left touchline, moves into the penalty area, into the Leicester box. He's trying to shrug off all comers. He's done very well, actually. It's come to Fabinho. It's chaotic from Leicester. Fabinho shoots from 25 yards. It goes over the bar. It was a really untidy defending from Leicester City.
I understand it completely because they're on such a bad run, but there's a lack of belief when they're in possession, Leicester. And I think that's why I've said for weeks when I looked at the Everton game and even the Fulham game, the manager's responsibility is to give the players a plan that's easy to carry out and take away the pressure of having to play through the lines and play technical, intricate football when you're lacking in confidence. They should not be playing out once. This is better what they're doing now. Percentages. Use the pace they've got in behind. Try and win some second balls. Don't play out. And if you are going to play out, you don't play Samari and Ndidi holding midfield. You drop Tielemans in there to get the ball off the back player.
On Monday night next week, by the way, we're going to Newcastle.
Yep.
Coming for that, aren't you? And that's Newcastle-Leicester. And again, it's another game that's going to be pivotal at the top and the bottom of the table. Leicester may need to absolutely have to win that match by the time we get to next game night here on Talksport. The eerie atmosphere now descending above us at the King Power Stadium. Those slate grey clouds have just emerged over the top of the north stand and created a rather eerie skyline with the yellow of the sun just about peering through. Vardy trying to peer through and get beyond Van Dijk and Canasa, but he's offside, and there haven't been too many chances for Leicester City to get forward. In fact, there's been very few chances at both ends of the field.
Yeah, it's been a little bit cagey in some respects. It started so open, didn't it, in the first 5-7 minutes. Barnes had that chance, and I think Gakpo had a chance. You know, there's a lot at stake for both sides, so it's going to be that way, I think. A goal tends to open it up, doesn't it?
Oh, he's allowed it to bounce fast, and it's come back to Henderson, edge of the area after a long kick from Alisson. Salah delivers it to the far post. Jones coming in and taps it home. And Leicester's defensive frailties are exposed again. Why on earth did Valfas allow that ball to bounce after it was kicked long by the goalkeeper? It fell to Liverpool, who constructed the attack. Jones stole in at the far post. He was found beautifully. He stabbed it in, and Curtis Jones gets his second goal of the season. And Liverpool strike first at the King Power Stadium. Leicester 0, Liverpool 1. It has been coming.
It has. I don't know what he's doing. It's a great shout. Fast. He goes back to it. He should just be heading there. And Samari's let Curtis Jones go on the back post. A great ball from Salah from the right-hand side. Lofted over to the back post. And Curtis Jones coming in, a bit like he did in the recent home games, trying to think who that was against. It's a nice finish. His left foot, half volley, calm. Ooh, there's a VAR, possible offside here. Is it Salah on the far side against Castagna?
I mean, they are checking it.
Or Diaz.
It's very, very tight. This is a long time before the goal goes in, by the way. How far do you go back? This is from the inception of the move, where Alisson clips the ball over the top.
Well, I think Diaz is onside.
Well, if Diaz is onside, then the goal stands, doesn't it? I mean, it doesn't look, after we've seen the replay, and there doesn't seem to be any other infringement. And I think it's pretty clear that that's going to be a goal. No offside against Luis Diaz, and the goal stands. It is Leicester City 0, Liverpool 1, live on Talksport, and the first goal of the night is conceded by Leicester City. And the bad news here is that Liverpool have the best Premier League points per game when scoring first, and the fewest points dropped from winning positions this season. Sorry, Dean Smith.
They've not had to do much to get in front. They really haven't. This Leicester side is so low on confidence.
Well, it was only a matter of time, really, wasn't it? Let's be completely honest.
Yeah.
It's away by Johnny Evans up over the halfway line. Fabinho tries to send it long. What's got to happen now is there's got to be a response, because they did respond in the game against Everton here. But so many times I've seen them this season, Leicester, when they've let in one goal and then they've folded like a pack of cards.
I just don't like the plan. It's a mixed bag. Sometimes they go long, sometimes they're trying to play out. I'd be going high tempo, play in behind, use your strengths, get your pace in behind and win some second balls.
Well, their strengths are the speed that Barnes and Vardy possess, and the brilliance of balls. They haven't used that, have they?
No. And get Maddison on the balls often as possible. But they've not laid a glove.
Gakpo into Salah, back to goal is Jones. He's shooting towards the far corner on the turn. He swiveled, he hits it, and it's beyond Danny Everson, and it's into the net. And Liverpool are striking while the iron is hot. It's 2 goals in 2 minutes for Curtis Jones. 2 goals in 2 minutes for Liverpool. And Leicester, once again, have been exposed for what they are. Dreadful defensively.
Well, we're just talking about not laying a glove. Look, nowhere near Henderson, can't get near him, plays it into Gapco, turns, takes his time, 4 touches into Salah. Curtis Jones going to be offside, this is going to be disallowed, but what a finish. Great little move from Liverpool. Well, actually maybe not, this is really tight. As he takes the ball, he spins and he hits it early. It's a brilliant finish from Curtis Jones. This is going to be a tight one.
It may be that he is narrowly offside there.
I'm not sure on this angle.
Yeah, he looks offside to me. They're rolling it on.
There. It's the pass from Salah.
The pass from Salah, which leaves him on the edge of the penalty area, but the back foot of John Evans is in the wrong position there, and that's going to be onside.
Well, I tell you, we're fortunate, obviously, to see the replay, and it's really hard for them to get the actual freeze frame right.
The kick point is really difficult to find.
Yeah, because he's off now, he's off.
He's also off balance as well, and they're trying to make sure they get the right kick point. If you look, we got the benefit where Johnny Evans is running out and away, but his back foot is playing him onside.
They'll give it.
Yep, they have. And that's going to be 2-0. It is 2-0. Leicester City 0. Liverpool 2. No offside against Jones. Nothing on about Leicester have given the ball away again. And Salah has found Gakpo. It's saved by Everton this time. What on earth are Leicester doing? They are folding. They are melting. Well, their shabby defence has been exposed for all its frailties.
Castagna played a 10-yard ball again. I said earlier, into Ndidi with his back to play and his own half. They get robbed, should be 3 down.
And they're lucky not to be 3 down. It's 2-0. 38 minutes on the clock. For 35 of the first half, there was nothing in the game. It was just all Liverpool dominating possession, probing, not really going anywhere, not having to do too much. Once the goal went in, Leicester have looked all shook up again. They lack so much confidence and belief in their ability. This is a team, there's a lot of members of this team that won the FA Cup not so long ago.
There's no direction. The game plans, there isn't one. There's no leadership here on the pitch or off it. I mean, there's no game plan. Sometimes they're playing short into trouble, sometimes they're playing long with no runners. The confidence is low, but you can tackle people. You can take a yellow, you can beat people in the air, you can dive in, you can put your body on the line. They're all over the place.
They just look so slow and cumbersome now, don't they? They look nervy. They look like they know what the future holds for them, and the future at the moment looks bleak for Leicester City. 39 on the clock, Leicester 0. Liverpool 2, live on Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. And remember, whatever happens here, there will be a full debrief on tomorrow morning's Talksport breakfast with Laura Woods and Ali McCoy from 6 a.m. And Neil Lennon is going to be on the show, former Leicester hero.
What a finish that was from Curtis Jones. I know we talked about Leicester being poor. It was a good move from Liverpool. Yes, they had all the time in the world. I mean, wait till you see Gapco. Anyone listening, when you see the highlights of the goals, Gapco, you see the spaces in with the midfielders dropping off him. It's absolutely ridiculous. But what a brilliant finish.
He's made a massive difference to the team, actually, Curtis Jones, since coming into it.
Well, I've always been surprised that he got from his first starts and his first run in the team where I thought he did well, where he just got completely alienated. And I didn't understand why.
9th start in a row. I think he did have some injury issues.
He's been sat on the bench a long time as well.
But he's back and fully integrated now, that's for sure. Fabinho, Alexander-Arnold, Fabinho again. No rush for Liverpool, who have got the top 4 in their sights. It's back towards Fabinho once again, and now it's with Ibrahima Konate on halfway. 40 minutes gone, 2-0 to Liverpool. 2 goals in 2 minutes for Curtis Jones. Here is Konate switching the play beautifully from right to left, and Robertson, whose first time cross into the box, is a little bit heavy. It flies through the 18-yard box and slides the other side. If you're Dean Smith, what do you do now? Because this is, well, you're not in the last chance saloon, you're in the last chance saloon and it's last orders.
I would want to see a high tempo second half. I would go to I'd change it, go to 3-5-2 or a 4-4-2. I'd play long balls, I'd win some seconds, I'd turn them on every opportunity, in behind the fullbacks, get 2 wide men out there, running in behind and get some balls into the box. Every free kick goes long, you get your big men up. I just think do something that makes an impact on the game. This is like Leicester are playing this like they've got, I say a pre-season friendly, no, but like they've got all the time in the world, all the games in the world I should say, to put it right. They're playing out, there's lackadaisical, their reactions off the ball's not good, they're dropping off. Where's the pressure, where's the intensity?
Jones into Diaz, he plays it straight out of play on the far side. They appointed Dean Smith as the interim manager. Is some of the problem down to the fact that when they decided to sack Brendan Rodgers, they didn't have a plan in their mind of what they were going to do next? Because if they'd appointed a permanent manager, these players, some of them would be playing for their futures. Under Dean Smith, they know it's only going to last to the end of the season, and anything could happen in the summer. So his authority is diminished. But
there's personal pride. There's personal pride, and you've got your family watching, and you've got potential buyers, some prospective employers watching, So I don't think there's any excuse for the players to have poor performances, but this doesn't look like a team that's worked on a system that's working. They might have, and Dean Smith might say after we worked hard on a system, but they did too good for us. Doesn't look like that to me.
Diaz down the left side, played in by Jones. It's on to Salah inside the area. It comes off a hand, does it? It's turned, and it's fired into the side netting this time by Robertson. Offside was up anyway, and it is going to be a free kick away to our right-hand side, but it's the latest in a series of chances that Liverpool have had in the last 10 minutes of the game. There wasn't too much for Everson to do up until that point, and then 2 goals from Jones and a great chance for Cody Gakpo, whose effort was stopped by Everson. If it hadn't have been stopped by the big Leicester goalkeeper, it would have been 3-0 before half-time, and some of those Leicester fans may not have bothered coming back in afterwards.
Well, I think this is just a matter of how many. There's nothing to suggest, and I'd be making 3 or 4 subs if I was him at half-time, Dean Smith.
The Opta supercomputer, who we consult at this stage of the season, said before the game that there was a 70% expectation of relegation for Leicester. On the evidence of the first 45 minutes, I think that might well have racked up to about 90%.
Correct.
Ndidi, halfway line. Can't find a teammate with his ball forward, so it's played left to Robertson, and not only is there sort of an air of resignation about the team on the field of play, but just listening to the hush around this ground, it almost feels there's an air of resignation about the club, the support. They know that this is sloppy, this is not good enough, this is drifting towards relegation. They've walked into this situation, Leicester, and unfortunately they're not going to wake up in time.
Do you know, there's always many factors why a team and a club has a really bad period or ends up in relegation, and you can analyse them, till you're blue in the face. But ultimately, any manager in charge of a team should have a team that reflects his personality and reflects his football beliefs. And I can't see anything about this team that has been worked on the last few weeks where I can see an identity, I can see a method.
Robertson towards the far post. It's over the head of Van Dijk, kept in by Salah, who's on the edge of the penalty area, right side. His cross is blocked by Castagna. We got 30 seconds of normal time at the end of the first half. Henderson taking on he's won the ball on the right hand side. He's got past Castagna and Tielemans twice. Too easy. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold dripping across towards the far post, away by Jamie Vardy, back out as far as Robertson, whose ball into the box is helped on by Fass. It drops for Henderson. Henderson takes it down. On the right side is Mo Salah. Salah back into Henderson once again.
Look at there's a Liverpool knocking around the midfield, and you look at the attempt of the press from the so-called aggressive midfielders of Leicester. There's nothing. No fire in the belly, no passion.
They look ghost-like at the moment, a shadow of their former selves. Leicester City, lacklustre in their attempts to keep Liverpool at bay. The confidence sucked out of them by 2 goals in quick succession. 4 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. The only good fortune is it's not 3. The ball delivered to the far post, headed away by Castagna, who's retreating. They've barely got out of their own half for the last 20 minutes.
Well, I take Tielemans off, if I'm honest. I know he's a lovely footballer and good technician, but he's physically way off it. He looks absolutely exhausted. We're not even at half-time.
Salah taking on Johnny Evans, getting hold of it from Johnny Evans and feeding Gakpo. Gakpo chipping the ball to the far post. Diaz nods it down into the path of Jones, who's looking for a first half hat-trick. Can't get it under control. Fabinho goes to strike it, engages with Ndidi. It spills out to the left wing position, and Diaz has got it once again. He couldn't play the ball into the path of Andrew Robertson. It's picked up by Fabinho and then sent back to Jones over on the far side. Liverpool haven't been in the top 4 all season. Their highest position has been 5th. They are putting pressure on Manchester United and on Newcastle United at the top of the Premier League in those 3rd and 4th positions. And their victory here is almost secure. Diaz trying to take on Fass. Fass just about gets in front of him and edges the ball out, and it's away for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. Well, it's been an insipid display by Leicester, and that's a word that's been used about their performances far too often. Listening to Jeff Peters outside today, talking to Leicester fans during the White and Jordan show. He's been outside all day on Talksport, garnering opinion, and they've been heavily critical of the way that the club have recruited over the last couple of years, but the performances on the pitch could have been better, should have been better with the quality that is available to them. They haven't been. They've drifted slowly but surely into a precarious position, and now they're on the precipice of relegation. Robertson over on the far side. Diaz combining with the Scotsman, gets it back again. We've played 48 minutes in this first half, still 60 seconds to play of added time at the end of the first 45. There's no engagement, there's no pressure on the ball. Liverpool just had so much possession. It's frightening how easy it's been for Liverpool. They've barely got out of second gear in this first half. 72% possession.
See, I've been in games like this before, but very rarely have I been in a game where there's so much on the line and I've not got a group of lads around me who are at least willing to fly into tackles and take a risk and maybe, show some passion. It might be a lack of quality. You might get done. You might even take a good hiding in terms of your technical ability and the scoreline, but not in terms of metres covered, out jumping, trying to out tackle, trying to out fight.
They've committed 3 fouls to Liverpool.
Unbelievable.
Here is Luis Diaz sweeping the ball to Gakpo. Gakpo moves it forward. The Olays have started from the Liverpool fans onto Salah, down towards the edge of the area. He takes it on to Henderson, who engages with Johnny Evans, who kicks it clear towards this near side.
Do you know what? They don't look fit.
How is that possible?
Well, because if you're not training at the intensity needed, because there's been a lot of games, and you're losing confidence, because you're low on confidence, you physically you drop a bit anyway. And if you're not being pushed at it in training to a high intensity training plan that also matches the way you play, turning them round, winning some seconds, you just look like this. You look flat.
Well, listen to those Leicester City fans booing at half-time, knowing that their team have been dismal once again. Liverpool's top 4 hopes are very much alive, but Leicester's Premier League life may be coming to an end. They trail by 2-0 at half-time. 2 goals from Curtis Jones have done the damage, but their own attitude and defensive display has done a lot more to drag them towards the trapdoor. At half-time, it's Leicester 0, Liverpool 2. Well, Liverpool have won 5 of the last 7 Premier League meetings between these two, but Leicester actually won the last 2 matches here between the two teams. Jurgen Klopp's men haven't actually won here since a 4-0 victory in December 2019 when Firmino, Milner and Alexander-Arnold were on the score sheet. It actually was James Milner's last goal for Liverpool nearly 4 years ago. But Liverpool are unbeaten in the last 123 Premier League games, Danny, when ahead at half-time. How do Leicester City bulk the odds and get back into this game?
They don't.
Here's Jamie Vardy over on the far side, taking it back towards the halfway line, clipping it out towards the right, and now Ricardo Pereira volleys it forward, looking for Maddison, who's in behind. He takes it down inside the area, right-footed shot straight into the arms of Alisson. That was a big chance, and it was a simple long ball right down the middle of the pitch, and Maddison got in behind the Liverpool defence and at least managed a shot on top.
Yeah, true.
Well, the two teams, Liverpool in red shirts, red shorts, red socks, attacking the goal away to our left now. All in blue, Leicester City attacking the goal away to our right. They've got Everson in goal, Ricardo, Evans, Fass and Castagna. No changes at half-time, so it's still Ndidi, Soumare and Tielemans in midfield, with Barnes and Maddison flanking Vardy in attack. Alisson is the Liverpool goalkeeper, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson. Over on the far side, Henderson, Fabinho and Jones, Salah, Gakpo and Diaz make up the 11 for Jurgen Klopp's men. You just said under your breath, too easy, as Barnes gave a foul away over on the far side. It's a free kick to Liverpool in the right full-back position.
Yeah, you got your centre-half just knocking the ball past Harvey Barnes and just bursting past him and then bringing him down. It's too easy. It's not how you defend.
Well, it was 7 years ago today at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea gave Leicester a guard of honour as the Premier League champions. Our football can change very, very quickly. Here is Gakpo holding on to the ball, Fabinho turning it over. Anyone want to put a challenge in? Not really. Here's Robertson down the left onto Diaz, who scampers towards the edge of the Leicester penalty area, cuts it on his right foot. He's got space for Gakpo, edge of the D, and he was engaged by Tielemans this time. And then Barnes breaks away over on the left-hand side, fighting with Alexander-Arnold for the ball. Gets up, glances in Craig Pawson's direction. The referee shakes his head, and Liverpool win the ball back far side. It remains 2-0 to Liverpool on Talksport on game night. Alexander-Arnold is complaining by Henderson, who's taken 3 players out of the game, and the ball is not great from Alexander-Arnold for a change, and it's cleared away by Pereira, Ndidi, and now Barnes looks up, not too many options going forward, so he tries to travel with the ball. He plays it against Henderson. It goes out for a throw-in 5-6 yards inside opposition territory. 48 on the clock, so it's going to be a long second half for Leicester unless they can find their way back into the game. And then the next goal is crucial. If Leicester do get the next goal, then this place might rev up, they might have a grandstand finish, they might nick a point. If Liverpool get the next goal, it might empty like a bath with the plug taken out.
Yeah, well, that's a very good analogy. I think you feel watching the game like Liverpool have got gears to go into if Leicester were to score, but you know as well as I do that momentum can shift in a game when supporters get behind the team and the atmosphere starts really lifting. There's nothing to suggest that's going to happen at the moment because Liverpool are still playing really comfortably and they're in again here.
Oh, they chipped the ball over the top and Everson's come too far and Gakpo's got it beyond him, and then Ricardo Pereira has to sweep up behind his own goalkeeper right on the edge of the D to kick it out over on the far side. What was Everson doing?
Well, he was trying to do that sweeper-keeper role, which is fine because you're playing a high line. There's nothing wrong with that. You're going to risk going to have a press. He just doesn't quite get there in time, which is a concern, but he's trying to do the right thing.
Just didn't judge the flight of the ball, I don't think. Ball back to halfway. Liverpool on the offensive again. We played 4.5 minutes of the second half. It's Leicester 0, Liverpool 2. Liverpool moving up towards the edge of the box, and Diaz has it now. Out wide to Robertson. Back to Jones into Diaz once again, back to Robertson, and then Robertson trying to find a way through. It goes back to Van Dijk, and once again Liverpool will go all the way to the halfway line. No real bother for them. They'll wait and then trip it over the top with Alexander-Arnold away by Fass. It's going to fall for Salah inside the area. Oh, just a well-timed intervention from Johnny Evans has stopped it from going towards him again. It's given towards Trent Alexander again. It's back to Jones, who keeps it in at the far post. And Liverpool on the offensive. They can't clear their lines again, Leicester City. They're under the cosh once more. Robertson. Liverpool barely getting out of second gear before moving into an advanced area. Luis Diaz onto Fabinho. Forward into Salah, back to goal, turns it out towards the right side. Alexander-Arnold was waiting for it. He sends it back to Henderson, whose chip into the box is met by Diaz, who floats it to the far post. And Jones just has it stolen off him by Soumare at the back post before the offside flag goes up against him anyway.
Yeah, Liverpool are getting into the final third really easily without too much resistance. The passing's sharp, it's good, the movement's good, they're full of confidence.
It's effortless at the moment, isn't it, for Liverpool to get towards the edge of the Leicester City box.
They look like they've got extra player on the pitch, don't they? That's the thing. And that comes with movement, confidence and quality of touch and speed of pass.
Well, it remains 2-0 to Liverpool. The ball has been sent down the far side and it's aimed towards Salah. It's gone out of play and away for a Leicester City throw. Leicester can't argue too much if they're relegated. 21, nearly 22 defeats now this season. The most league defeats in a season in any division since 94-95. The fewest points after 35 games in the Premier League season since 29-03-04 when they were relegated. And since the World Cup their form has been terrible. And that after a dodgy start to the season appeared to have been rectified.
Here we go.
Here's Tielemans inside the area at the other end, and Barnes with a shot saved by Alisson, who drives up to his left-hand side, and the big left hand comes out and tips it down the post. It's the first shot in anger they've had since the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, well that is where we saw in that first 5 minutes. Some joy down the left, Harvey Barnes going inside. I think Vardy's actually offside anyway, but it's a lovely little 1-2. Tries to bend it in the far right corner from the inside left position. Harvey Barnes, a good save from Alisson, but that's the area of the pitch that they should be looking to feed Harvey Barnes into.
My word. He played a short corner to Tielemans, who returned it to Maddison, and as he played it to Maddison just fell over, he slipped, and then the ball's been given away by Pereira, and Pereira has tugged back Jones because he knew he was well beaten, and that's going to be the first yellow card of the game. It goes to Ricardo Pereira. Well, that was an embarrassing situation, and James Maddison, after slipping from that corner kick, just turned around and looked at both sets of studs as if to say, well, there must be a problem here.
Yeah, well, that's what you do. It's unlucky, to be honest. I think it was the right thing, try and play some short corners, mix it up a little bit, because they had no joy, did they, on the longer ones early in the game.
Jones is snapped in behind by Samare. Pereira is chasing him, but Jones retained possession. Van Dijk into Alexander-Arnold, who turned effortlessly away from Tielemans. It's come through to Henderson, pops it out wide. It's on to Salah now. Salah trying to pick his spot, curls the ball towards the far edge of the penalty area, and it goes out of play. And it's out of play and away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. And Mo Salah actually hasn't had a particularly productive time against Leicester recently. He's only scored one in the last 8 against them. He has had a productive time in recent matches, 11 goals in 12 games. And he is looking for a goal that will take him above Steven Gerrard in the all-time Liverpool scoring list. He's had a terrific season, 30 goals once again, which is particularly impressive. Liverpool have the ball deep inside their own half. A quick restart from then to Robertson, and then on to Diaz, who's down the left side and immediately is engaging inside opposition territory. He brushes aside Pereira, gets into the box, teases it through a 6-yard area. There's no one there to finish it off. Far too easy for Luis Diaz. Alexander-Arnold into Salah, edge of the box. Alexander-Arnold's got it again. He comes out to him right side. He sends it out to Henderson, who's further by the touchline. He wanders back and then plays it infield. In fact, he goes all the way back to his goalkeeper in the end, as Liverpool look to restart and change the angle of attack. What a delicious ball that was from Diaz.
He did really well, one-on-one against Pereira, took him down the outside, which you always like to see, getting forward, mixing it up on his left side, slid it across the goal. No one was there for an easy tap-in, but again, I said it first off at 0-0, but it feels like it now. You're just waiting for the next goal, aren't you? They're opening Leicester up far too easily.
Leicester have been hit financially. The pandemic obviously caused problems for the King Power Group, which bankrolls the club. Here is Vardy over on the far side. Their predominant business is duty-free, and as Konate goes across and out-muscles Vardy, they turn defence into attack Liverpool in double quick time. Henderson up over the halfway line. There's been financial fair play concerns as well for them to worry about, and that's one of the reasons they haven't spent the money that they've generated from player sales. They did sell Wesley Fofana, remember, for 70 million quid in the summer. They spent a bit more in January than they did during the summer period, where they really tightened the belt, and that's why Brendan Rodgers, I think, felt a little bit duped, because when he came to the club he felt as if he was going to be building for long-term European success, and those options seemed to dwindle for him over the last year or so, and as a result they were fighting relegation rather than fighting to get into the top four, which was definitely the case in 2021 and 21-22. And they were unlucky, weren't they, not to get into the top four on those two occasions. I was here on the final day of the season in the lockdown season when 2 goals late on for Manchester United took them out of the top four. Last season it was the season before last. It was a similar story. Throw into Liverpool, deep inside their own territory. 2-0 to the visitors. And the shouts of going down are coming from the Liverpool fans, taunting the Leicester supporters, who I think are gradually accepting their fate. I mean, it isn't done and dusted. Let's not pretend that it is. The way the table will be, if it stays like this by the end of the night, Liverpool will be up to 65 points from 36 games. Manchester United and Newcastle have played 35 and have 66 points. Newcastle with the best goal difference out of the trio, that's for sure. At the bottom of the table, Leicester will have 30 points from 36, so 2 to play. And 2 points from safety. Here is Diaz, about 25 yards from goal, threatened to hit it instead, gave it to Alexander-Arnold, who clips it into an open penalty area. It's behind Jones. Jones turns and there's 3 to aim at inside the box. He gets onto his right foot, tries a shot, it's blocked, and it comes to Barnes, and then Tielemans runs it out of the penalty area. Then his attempt to release Vardy is stopped by Van Dijk. Back Liverpool come again. Leicester will have 30 points from 36 games. Leeds 31 from 36. Everton 32 from 36. Leicester, whose final few fixtures, well, they'll hope that they can get something from. They've got Newcastle next Monday night. Not going to be easy away at St James's Park, that's for sure.
If they play like this, they'll get absolutely hammered.
And then West Ham on the final day of the season come here, and again they will hope that European distractions have taken away any fight that West Ham have got in the Premier League. But even if they were to get 3 points, the likelihood is that Everton and Nottingham Forest are still uncatchable. Well, Nottingham Forest certainly are uncatchable, but Everton will become uncatchable if they got another couple of points in their last 2 games, and they've got easier fixtures, Everton.
Yeah, there's a lot of ifs and buts. I mean, they will hope and pray that they can get to the last game of the season. They need a win.
The way Leicester are going, though, they don't look like they're going to get another point. They actually don't look like they're going to get another goal.
Well, as Aid said before, that the only saving grace is that West Ham could be in a final and therefore rest the majority of their important players.
What, 10 days before?
Well, maybe not. You might be right. We had that dilemma at Fulham when we had Europa League final, because he changed a lot of the team for it, and I wanted to play.
Here is Diaz down the left-hand side, moving towards the edge of the area. And it gets cut out by Samara and cleared out towards the near side. I think it's worse if they actually go through to the final, West Ham, because I think some of those players will be looking to try and get into the team. Whereas if they go out and their season's over, then I think they'll be exhausted from their travails and maybe slightly more pliable. Here is Alexander-Arnold whipping the ball down the corner, looking for Salah. He finds him in the right wing position. It's too easy for Liverpool, this. I mean, are Leicester even playing in this game anymore? Liverpool just dominating possession. Wandering forward, Henderson clips it out towards the left-hand side. Robertson chases it. He's not going to reach it, but at least he is chasing it.
It's a non-contest, isn't it, at the moment? It feels like, it doesn't feel like a team fighting for their life. It doesn't feel like a team that wants to get his supporters on board and try and help them just salvage something out of this season, even this game.
I mean, Dean Smith looks like a forlorn figure in the technical area. He's going to make changes now. Let's see if they can make any difference, because they need something different. Daka's coming on to add energy. Tete's coming on to add youthful exuberance, but his only goal was on his debut. And Patson Daka hasn't scored too many. He's been on as a sub in 6 of the last 7, and only 1 of his goals has come from the bench. Steve Clarke, the Scotland manager, is here. So is Gareth Southgate and Steve Holland, who have made the journey down to watch some potential England players. Maybe they are keeping an eye on Curtis Jones. He certainly would have caught the eye with the 2 goals that he's scored. I don't think there'll be too many in Leicester blue that would have caught the eye today. Ricardo Pereira to take the throw on this near side. The referee's going to stop the game because he's going to bring on substitutes. And here are the changes. Wilfred Ndidi for Patson Daka. So a change of formation. And a more aggressive approach. Tielemans is going to drop a little bit deeper as a result of that. And Tete is coming on for Harvey Barnes. So it's currently Leicester City 0, Liverpool 2 on Talksport with Now Sports. And don't forget, with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action live right now, including Liverpool here at Leicester for just $11.99 now. No contract, search Now Sports. We'll just have a quick look at the settling formation before we make any prognosis about what this is going to do for Leicester. They've lost the ball again though, and Ricardo Pereira has given it back to Diaz. It's played infield to Henderson. Liverpool conceded a throw. It's with them inside opposition territory. It looks as if Vardy is going to go through the middle, Maddison into the 10, Patson Daka one side and Tete the other.
Maddison in the middle, you mean? Vardy's already in the middle. Yeah, Daka down the right and Tete down the left. It's where Maddison should always play. The problem is when you play him wide that he doesn't want to defend against the fullback really.
Here is Samare out wide towards the right into Ricardo Pereira. He clips it over the top. Daka goes on the chase, but Van Dijk will get there first and tuck it out of play for a throw-in down by the corner flag. 62 on the clock. It's Leicester City 0, Liverpool 2, and you're listening to Talksport. Here is Daka back to Ricardo Pereira, who just passes it straight to Luis Diaz, who chases out on this near side. He's crunched to the floor. That's going to be a free kick. Craig Shakespeare having a word with Wout Faes and Timothy Castagne.
See Daka and Tete are swapping now after some instruction from Shakespeare.
Here is Salah at the other end, 2-0. The Liverpool fans are the ones that you can hear in the background. It's pretty silent around the rest of the stadium. There's not even a humdrum of activity. There's just a lot of poor old Leicester fans looking at this going, what the hell is going on? And the answer is not very much. It's been an insipid display, a lethargic display from Leicester. Ricardo Pereira on this near side, the right. They've lacked a cohesive game plan. They haven't pressed as a team. They've defended very deep. They've allowed Liverpool to come onto them. And they haven't had any threat on the counter-attack. I think they've had probably, 2 shots on goal in the game. It's been really rather simple for Liverpool during the course of the, 63 minutes that we've had.
Well, the only people who'll be pleased with this performance are those fighting with them down the bottom, the likes of Forest, Everton.
You've been a bit generous saying there's people fighting with them. They're not exactly fighting at the moment.
That's true. Actually, yeah, great point. Liverpool fans are enjoying themselves anyway.
Yep. The whole of Liverpool will be enjoying this performance because Everton will be delighted that Leicester are being so subservient. They've got the ball on the edge of their own 18-yard box, played it back to Johnny Evans. Evans plays it forward into the path of Maddison. They're still deep inside their own half when they're trying to get out here. Tielemans back to Johnny Evans. Liverpool defending the halfway line, but Leicester still only a couple of yards in front of their own box. Faes tries to break the lines, runs forward, gives it to Tete. He's in the centre circle. He sweeps the ball out towards the far side. A progressive pass from him. And now Maddison tries to join the attack. He moves forward, gets to the edge of the box, plays a wall pass with Daka, skips past the challenge, looks to get a shot away, then tries to feed the ball down the right side and gives it away. And now they're exposed to a counter-attack. And it's being led by Luis Diaz, who's racing through the middle of the park. He's trapped by Samare, who did very well to keep up with him. And then even better to get the tackle in.
Yeah, it was a good counter from Diaz, wasn't it? Brilliant tackle from Samari, actually chased back there.
Here is Vardy, played in by Daka, didn't quite get hold of the ball though, Vardy, on the edge of the penalty area, and Liverpool bring it clear. 65 gone, 2-0 to Liverpool. Here comes Jordan Henderson. Leicester trailing by 2-0, and for the latest odds, you can head to Ladbrokes. Right now you can get the next team to score. Leicester 14-5, Liverpool evens, no score 21-10. It's all thanks to Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com, 18+, begambleaware.org. And I'm sure that there'll be more competitive performances put in during the playoff campaign, which continues on Talksport. Tielemans has given the ball away so cheaply. It's unreal, and it drew the ire of the Leicester supporters. For a moment they found their voice. Here is Fabinho across to Konate. I was quite critical on the Game Day podcast today of the Arsenal fans leaving early after the season that their team had given them, bearing in mind that last season they were miles off the pace, and this year they've gone within 3 games of chasing the title. But if the Leicester fans decided to leave now, I'd give them a free pass.
I'm surprised. A third goal. third goal goes in now, I think you'll see a mass exodus.
Our producer just said, can he go? He's a big Leicester fan.
Yeah.
You can go down and set up the kit for the post-match, it's fine, yeah. Here is Fabinho, down the left-hand side. Diaz trying to get on the end of the ball. Fast comes across and slides it out of play. Level with the edge of the penalty area. And it's out for a throw-in. 03717 2233 is the number to call if you want to give your view on this game to Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy after the game. The sports bar will be open for business. I think that was a foul throw from Robertson, wasn't it?
Joe, I didn't see it, to be honest. I was looking at the dugouts, so I could see some more action down there, more freshness coming on for Leicester, I think. Thomas, maybe.
Well, the freshness that they've added so far has not put anything into the team. Here comes Luke Thomas. Who's he coming on for? Castagna was still on.
No, it's come on. Pereira's
come off, sorry. Castagna ran over towards this near side because he's taking his place on the right side of the defence, and Luke Thomas is going over to the far side. Castagna coming hopefully to try and stem the flow of Diaz's attacks. That's what he will feel. And Luke Thomas on the far side. A bit of a scrap in midfield, a trip by Tete, who had a little nibble at Jones. Jones puts his boot back on, and Liverpool continue their dominance of possession in the game, of which they've had 72%. 72% of the ball at Leicester's ground. By the way, in the last few matches in which they've been winning Liverpool, the average has been under 68%. Here is Gakpo picking the ball up on the edge of the centre circle. He drives forward. He's got Salah out to his right. Salah cuts in on his left foot, curls the ball to the far post. It's blocked by Everson. Comes out towards Fabinho, slips it wide. It was a little bit heavy from him. It's going to go out on the far side. But Salah just chipping in on his left foot, just shoot towards the far corner. It was easy though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an easy attack from Liverpool. I felt actually for Thomas, he's just come on, and the first thing he's got to do is go one-on-one with Salah inside the box.
Cheers, Gaffer.
Yeah, Salah got his shot away, didn't quite get hold of it though, straight at.
Well, Luke Thomas Everson started against Everton randomly, hasn't been seen before or since really in the starting lineup, but he's coming, I think, because Pereira only can play a certain number of minutes without the possibility of recurring injury, so he has to be managed, Ricardo Pereira. But there's a lot of squad management that's going to happen here. There's got a lot of player sales that will happen. They'll make good money on Maddison if they do get rid of him, and Tielemans as well. And they have to reinvest it in the squad because inevitably they're going to have to scrap their way out of the Championship next season. It certainly looks like that's odds on now. Here is Henderson running towards the edge of the box and trying to dart all the way through the defence. And he keeps... Johnny Evans has gone wiring in. He's given away the free kick, and then he's gone pointing in the face of Craig Dawson, the referee, and screaming at him, suggesting that it wasn't as clear-cut as Craig Dawson made out.
It was a nice positive run from Henderson. I think Johnny Evans got a fair point. He got the ball. Looks like he got the... Yeah, he did. He got the ball.
Yeah, he got the ball. And it probably wasn't a free kick, was it?
No.
But when you're down there and the luck's against you, the luck's against you.
Well, let's get something right. Leicester's performance tonight, irrelevant of whether this free kick goes in or not, is not going to be because of this free kick or a bad decision. It's because a complete lack of a plan, a complete lack of passion, a lack of desire to fight for this club.
I thought they were dreadful on Monday. I thought they were really unorganised and chaotic the previous week. They were terrible on Monday. This Monday...
Chaotic's okay if you're trying to win a game by scoring lots of goals and leaving yourself out. Chaos is okay if it's benefiting you with some goals.
But this is insipid.
Yes.
Here's the free kick to be taken by Alexander-Arnold. Left of centre, right-footed towards the far corner. Oh, what a goal! That is fantastic! It's a brilliant strike from Trent Alexander-Arnold, and now the King Power Stadium does empty.
Do you know what was very similar to the goal he scored at Chelsea a couple of seasons ago? A little touch from Mo Salah, he runs across, whips it in the top right-hand corner. Keeper's that side, to be fair to him. We'll have to see it back, but it's a brilliant strike. Trent's been great again.
Oh, it's a terrific hit from Trent Alexander-Arnold, and they are putting pressure on Manchester United and Newcastle as the season comes to a close. But Leicester's golden era is heading for an undignifying end. It's 3-0. Lovely little touch by Salah, a back heel into the path of Alexander-Arnold, and he just struck it so firmly, so true, and so accurately into the far corner that Danny Everson got nowhere near it.
Well, it's wonderful technique, hit with great bend and great pace, but the keeper should be there. Simple as that. You don't get done on the keeper's side, really. All goalkeepers, the top goalkeepers, don't get done where they're stood. He's guessed, he's moved across. Not taking anything away from the technical ability for what Trent's just done, by the way. But the goalie's at fault.
It's the first time he's scored since the free kick against Rangers in the Champions League. But I'll tell you what, it was well worth the wait.
Yeah, he's built up. I mean, the one he scored at Chelsea a few seasons back was very similar to that, with wonderful pace. In fact, the one at Chelsea was even better. Pace and bend into a certain area of the goal, very hard to stop, but that is the keeper's side. And the only reason he's not there is because he's guessed that Trent was going to go the other way. And that's the game you play when you play taking free kicks. Keeper and free kick taker. You're always playing that cat and mouse with the goalie. But the technique to do what he does from that position it's always been there with him. You know, actually with his ability, you could say he should score more free kicks. Well, but he's been great. You know what he looks, Trent? He looks like he's enjoying his football in the middle of the pitch. I know he's still got to get back in that right back area at times, but the last few weeks in this position, he's enjoying himself. He's loving being given the responsibility to get on the ball like this and dictate play and ping the ball about. I love the fact he takes so many risks and chances with the ball. I love that.
Yeah, well, you said actually last week on game night that we'll see how it works when they
against better opposition,
play better opposition. They're in the Champions League next season, if indeed they get into the Champions League next season, which might be increasingly more likely with this victory. And it will certainly put the shakers on Newcastle United ahead of Thursday night's game against Brighton at home.
Yeah, tough one.
I wonder if Roberto De Zerbi's going to slide down the touchline if his team win at St James's Park.
I mean, Man U have got to play Villa as well. Villa have been playing some good stuff. That's not an easy game. There's still a few games for it to turn for Liverpool. It is unlikely, as we said.
Liverpool got to play Villa. Manchester United played Villa.
Yeah, sorry, Liverpool still got to play Villa. United have got to play. Who have they got next? Can you remind me?
Manchester United's final few games of the season are games that you would expect them to win, especially seeing as the majority of them are at home. They've got Chelsea.
Chelsea, that's the one.
And then Fulham. And Bournemouth before that as well, so they've still got 3 games to play. Their game in hand against Chelsea actually is on the Thursday night before the end of the season, the final game of the campaign, and that's at home, and that's live on Talksport. That will be a key one in the race for the top 4. But the way Chelsea are playing, you wouldn't expect them to cause too many problems for Manchester United. But Aston Villa got to play Liverpool. That might be a key game. Ball is back towards Everson, who kicks it out towards the far side. Here is Samara giving the ball away, and then Fass intervenes. I'm still going back to that moment where Fass allows that ball to drop inside the long kick in the first half. A key moment in the game, I think. Alisson comes out, does his sweeper keep a bit, heads the ball away from Daka, who is speeding towards him. It's Leicester 0, Liverpool 3 on Talksport. Car Finance 24/7, search Car Finance 24/7 today. Robertson into Fabinho, back towards the near side. Leicester, who are not even to be trusted when they're leading a game, certainly not to be trusted when they're trailing 3-0 in a game.
I wonder what price we'd get on them getting back into this.
You can just pick your odds, I'll give it to you, okay. And I'll take the bet. Here is Jones, forward towards Salah, inside the area, taking it past Fass, who slides in. Good tackle by him. Jota, who's come on as a substitute, has robbed it. Foul on Castagna. And Jota has come off the bench in the last few minutes, and he has...
well, he's got his hands on his head, Jota, because he's robbed the ball off, I think it was Castagna maybe, inside the box, and the referee's given a free kick, which I don't think it was. Maybe he's feeling sorry for them, Sam.
It's probably best to do that now, isn't it? I mean, Jurgen Klopp obviously is not happy about it. He doesn't think it was a free kick. He's still telling the linesman on this near side that he's not happy. But you do just wonder, don't you? You do just wonder what Leicester City are going to do next. Who will be in charge at the beginning of next season?
I think it'll be a new guy, if I'm honest.
Ball is out over on the far side, and it's smuggled behind by Canate. And it's out for a corner kick to Leicester City. The ball is placed down in the quadrant, and Leicester have a rare corner. 13 minutes to go. They're trailing by 3-0. Their Premier League life is hanging by a thread. It's in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, glanced away by Van Dijk, and out the other side for another corner. Can you put any blame on Dean Smith? He took over with Leicester 19th in the Premier League. They're still 19th. 25 points from 30 games prior to his arrival. Only manager in Premier League history to take over with 15 games or fewer remaining with a team in the relegation zone and to survive was Tim Sherwood with Aston Villa in 2014-15. So it never usually turns out well.
No, and that's fair. But he has to take some blame in that. I can't see a team that has an identity or a method in what it's doing. I don't see a team that's got energy and passion. I don't see a team that's reflective of a club desperately fighting for their life.
And Liverpool just had another chance to open up that Leicester defence far too easily, and it was only a quick intervention.
Everton have had some bad days, we know that, like home to Newcastle, for example. But responses has gone out. I've seen Everton respond and play with tempo and tenacity. Even the game for 37 minutes at the weekend against Manchester City, there was fight in them. You know, even at 1-0 there was some fight. There was a wonder goal that separated. It didn't come out the blue. It come out the blue, that Gundogan goal, really.
But after that, they did fall away.
Yeah, but you're going to, because City control one of the best teams in the world. The fact is, in the last 3 games, I've not seen anything.
Gakpo playing the ball through to Salah, who's one-on-one. He rounds the goalkeeper, pops it wide. I don't know how he's popped it wide, but he has popped it wide. It's a huge chance. I mean, that is a golden opportunity to make it 4. And somehow Mo Salah has missed the opportunity to go above Steven Gerrard on the all-time list. But the defending from Leicester, you won't believe it. There was a moment, and they only picked the ball up on the halfway line, Liverpool, where Liverpool had 2 players inside the Leicester half, and Leicester only had 1. Here's Tete at the other end. Down the right side is Castagna. It's away by Robertson. I mean, I'd say that was schoolboy defending, Danny, but that would be disrespectful for schoolboy footballers everywhere. The ball's been played in behind once again for Salah to chase, and he's running towards the edge of the penalty. He's got Gakpo in attendance. He goes on the outside, tries to get beyond Luke Thomas, who pops it away and out for a corner kick over on the far side.
The only surprise when Salah went through one-on-one is that you didn't see the net balls. He's so good at them normally. This is the chance we get the completely mishit it, hasn't he? He's allowed the odd bad one. I'm certainly not going to sit here and tell Mo Salah how to finish.
We'll come back to that in just a second though, because there is a corner kick over on the far side which Robertson's going to take, but it might just underscore why Liverpool are in the position they're in, where they're chasing desperately to try and scramble enough points to put pressure on United and Newcastle at the top of the table and get into the Champions League, and we'll discuss that in just a second. But first of all, corner with 10 minutes to go. Leicester 3-0 down at home to Liverpool. They'll only have 2 games remaining after this. Here is the corner in towards the near post. It's nudged down by Van Dijk and then back towards the edge of the area, and Alexander-Arnold's ambitious ball forward doesn't reach Robertson. It's into the arms of Daniel Everson, who wants to dispatch it quickly upfield for Vardy to chase, but Alexander-Arnold is equal to it, and it's tucked back to Alisson away to our right hand side. There have been 2 major problems that stand out to me in terms of statistics for Liverpool. They missed too many big chances. Only Arsenal have more shots in the Premier League than Liverpool, but their conversion rate is the 8th best in the league. And if you look at the number of big chances that they missed, and I did research what big chance was, just because I know you like to question me on that, It's where there is an incredibly high expectation that the next touch is going to be a goal, with very low or moderate pressure only on the forward. And I think that falls into that category, that one that's just been missed by Mo Salah. That over the course of the season has cost them points, and the propensity to concede the first goal in the game, which has happened far too often.
Well, they had a spell where that was happening constantly.
Yeah.
But it's a good start, actually.
Here is Robertson down the left-hand side. He's got beyond his marker. He thought he was clipped there as he went into the penalty area. It goes behind and out for a corner kick, and Craig Pawson is not giving a penalty.
Nice positive run that was from Robertson. He's been good, been really good tonight. Been a lot of good performances from Liverpool. I think he thought for a second maybe Castagna brought him down for a penalty, but the referee's not having any of that. Yeah, just on that stat you gave about the missing the big chances, I think that's really positive for Liverpool. I think that's something they will have looked at. I think it's something they will have looked at, because
Darwin Núñez in particular has got 15 goals. He probably could have had 30.
Well, maybe not. But yeah, I see your point. He's missed a lot, but the fact they're making chances and getting in such positive areas is a good thing.
Here is the corner on the near side. Trent Alexander-Arnold is going to take it. His right-footed cross is deep towards the far post, and it's dealt with by Samari and then picked up by Tete, and they race to get away here, Leicester City. They get to the halfway line, stop, play it square, and give it back towards the left-hand side, and then Tielemans tips it over the top, and Alisson's going to try and outpace Daka. Not an easy thing to do, but he has done it. He's gone miles out of his penalty area in order to do that, and he's cleared it away. 3-0. 0371 722 3344. That's the number to call if you want to get in touch with the boys on the sports bar a little bit later on, and they will take your calls, especially if you're a Liverpool or a Leicester fan. They'll want to know what you think about the prognosis for the rest of the season. Ball into the box, too high from Castagna, straight down the throat of Alisson. Darwin Núñez, second most big chances missed in the Premier League this season, 20, and he's hit the woodwork 5 times.
Wow. Who's missed the most big?
Who's missed the most big chances? That's a great question. I haven't got the answer to.
Oh, you've got it. Oh, do you know, I thought you were just setting it up for yourself.
I was. Didn't have the finish.
We'll have a look.
That was a big chance missed from me. Here is Tete down the left-hand side. Pulls it through the 18-yard box, and it's cleared away. Alexander-Arnold goes out into the right full-back position. Danny Murphy with us on every game night. We've had a great time over the course of this season. And I tell you what, we've got another belting one to come next week. They're at St James's Park for their final home game of the season next Monday night on game night. Leicester City are the visitors. Will it be the night that Leicester's relegation is confirmed? Will it be the night that Newcastle confirm a part in the top 4? Curtis Jones is replaced by Fabio Carvalho, and a big hug from Jurgen Klopp for Curtis Jones. 2 goals tonight. Great performance.
Superb. Really pleased for him. He's been patient. Quite a long time out of the side, and then he's got this run in the team, and he's grasped it with both hands. As I said before, reliable in both aspects of his game now. He's starting to contribute going forward, and always been decent defensively. Does his hard yards well, tracks runners, helps the fullback out, gets in on the back post, which is what you want from a midfield player as well. And he's got that capability of taking the ball under pressure with people around him. You need that in a top team.
Well, if Liverpool win this game and their final 2 Premier League games of the season... Hey, listen, come on. Sorry. 6 minutes to go. Some things change very quickly. I was doing the Barcelona-Espanyol game last night. It was 4-0 for about 30 minutes, and then in the last 2 minutes, Espanyol scored twice. It was crackers. But that's because they switched off Barcelona when they were winning the league. Congratulations to them. When Liverpool win this game, if they were to then pick up another 6 points, they would finish for 71. And only 3 teams in Premier League history have taken 71 or more points in a 38-game season and finished lower than 4th.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Thomas up to Maddison, left side for Leicester City. Tackled by Konate is penalised. He's going to get a yellow card for that. Wasn't that good a tackle according to Craig Pawson? Milner has come on, is pleading the innocence of Ibrahima Konate. Harvey Elliott about to come on as well for Liverpool as they are racking up the substitutions late on in the game. A free kick, Madison to take it. 86 minutes on the clock. He'll step up here, right-footed, and try and get this one towards the far post. It's dropped right in front of Allison, and it's an easy take. Even the set pieces have been poor.
I can't believe how many Leicester fans are still here. Honestly, I thought they'd be gone. Fair play to them.
There was a large portion that left when the third goal went in, but most have stayed, haven't they? You know, it's still it's probably what, 60% full at this moment in time. There's a lot more leaving now, but yeah. Here is Gakpo running forward for Liverpool, moving up towards the edge of the penalty area. He's got space for Jota to right of him, but he didn't release it quick enough. And as a result of that, Wout Faes was able to come across and nab it for Leicester City and spare any more blushes, because if he had got it out of his feet and found Jota, that was certain danger. Away by Van Dijk on this near side. And there's two big games to come for Liverpool now. Aston Villa at home, where they are very reliable actually, Liverpool. They're brilliant on their home turf. And then they've got a game which, if they don't win, they don't deserve to be in the Champions League. Southampton away.
That's true.
Mo Salah coming off for Harvey Elliott. Henderson came off for Milner a few moments ago. And there's 3 minutes of the clock to wind down for Liverpool, who are going to within a point of Manchester United and Newcastle in 3rd, 4th and 5th in the Premier League. And I wonder how this situation has come to pass for Leicester. Last year they reached their first European semi-final. The year before they won the FA Cup. They had 2 seasons where they finished in 5th position. The ball volleyed towards the edge of the box looking for Vardy. Vardy with an overhead kick caught by Allison, and at least a rare effort on goal, which is applauded warmly by those still in the stadium. They remember those good times. They remember those 5th place finishes that were deemed a disappointment because they'd spent so much time across both seasons in the top 4. In fact, there was a period when they spent more time in the top 4 than anybody else in the Premier League and still didn't finish that way. Carvalho coming forward. Milner sweeps it wide. Harvey Elliott wants to get in on the act. He moves into the penalty area. Jota wants it. Elliott tries to get a shot away. Should have released the ball earlier. It drops inside the box. Castagna gets it away. And it's out towards the far side. And it's picked up by Virgil van Dijk. Wide it goes. On to Alexander-Arnold. He clips it forward looking for Gakpo. Away by Faes. And then Evans is engaged by Alexander-Arnold. Helped into the air. 90 seconds to go of normal time. It remains 3-0. Madison fouled by Fabinho.
It's been a procession, hasn't it, second half? I know they've only scored 1 goal, but it's been so comfortable. I expected a reaction from Leicester.
Got nothing. Absolutely no response whatsoever. Harry Souttar coming on for Johnny Evans.
I mean, what was the point of that? What the hell? There's 2 or 3 minutes to go. I mean,
I don't understand a lot of what has happened here tonight. I do not understand how you can go into a game like this when you're desperate to stay in the Premier League. You need to fight for every ball. You need to try and win every header. You need to scrap for every tackle. And you do not do any of those things after about 3 minutes into the game.
Bizarre, isn't it?
I just don't get it. I don't understand it. And we'll get an explanation, or try to, from Dean Smith live on the Sports Bar straight after this programme. 03717 223344. If you're a Leicester fan and you've just got in your car and you've turned the radio on, you must be as bemused and bamboozled by what you've seen tonight as we are. We can't believe the lack of energy and effort and application that has been shown by the team.
Sometimes the game plan dictates your application to a degree. In that, if you play a pragmatic game with a high tempo where you're hitting corners, getting up behind play, second balls, it makes it easier to be more tenacious and fly into tackles when you're running teams down. If you want to sit off and let Liverpool have the ball and try and be hard to beat, there's an area of the pitch where you then have to become competitive. But there was nowhere other than the first 5 minutes where you saw Leicester on the front foot trying to impact the game.
It's been a nothing performance.
Nothing, yeah. But it's not, the point I was making earlier is this is their 3rd nothing performance, really.
Yeah.
On the spin. They were lucky to get a draw against Everton, I thought.
Yeah, but that wasn't a nothing performance.
No, that's true.
Chaotic.
Yeah, it's chaotic. Yeah.
And actually, even down at
least they were in it.
Fulham, they tried to get back into the game. They were just bad at it. And they were even more frenetic in that game and uncontrolled. This game they've just not turned up. Here is Elliott wandering into midfield, giving the ball away. We've got 3 minutes of added time, which we've played 50 seconds. Maddison taking it, and Leicester heading for relegation. Liverpool heading to at least the top 5, but they're going to be at least send alarm bells for Brighton, but Brighton are going to have to work really hard to overhaul them now. And that game against Aston Villa might be Brighton's perfect scenario, actually. They'll have to try and keep winning on Thursday night, live on Talksport, when they play against Newcastle, or given away by Tielemans. Carvalho's got it. He's running forward. He's played it towards the left-hand side. Jota's picked it up. He's moved towards the edge of the penalty area. He's going on the outside, then coming on the inside. He's giving it towards the back post. It's stopped by Tielemans. He can't clear it properly, so Mahrez's giving it back to Fast. They're just about getting away with it. And it's kicked out towards the far side, and then eventually it's with Thomas, who sends it long up towards halfway. This is Talksport. Desperate defending from Leicester as they try to keep Liverpool from scoring a 4th goal in stoppage time. Liverpool looking for their 7th win in a row. They're putting the frighteners on United and Newcastle at just the right time. Alexander-Arnold has been at the heart of everything again tonight. Strides forward. He's got Jota to his left. He's got Carvalho couldn't get it under control as it was rolled to him on the edge of the penalty area. And it's cleared away by Ederson. Or Tielemans has gone down. He's got cramp, or has he hurt his knee? Cramp. Ball out of play over on the far side. There's still Leicester fans inside the ground. Fair play to them. Craig Pawson looks at his watch. We've played 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This is where that mercy rule is going to come in, isn't it? Where they're going to allow the game to be stopped if there's no chance of a response. And certainly it's felt like that for quite some while here.
This would have been the shortest game in history, wouldn't it? Hey?
When would they have blown?
Would have been home an hour ago.
Sports Spark would have had to have an extended licence. It's 3-0 to Liverpool. And it's been much more one-sided than the scoreline suggests, actually. Here is Maddison cutting in field, wandering into the middle of the park. Fast sweeps it towards the left. There's the full-time whistle. Listen to those boos. The Leicester fans stayed just to do that, I think. Exactly 2 years ago, Leicester City were having one of the best days in their history. Tonight, the darkness is descending. Relegation to the Championship is coming ever closer. Nothing is settled in defeat to Liverpool, but it's getting so close you can smell it. Liverpool still have the chance to dream of the Champions League, but Leicester's nightmare scenario is playing out in front of Dean Smith and their supporters' eyes. They can only get 6 more points now, and by the time they play next Monday night at Newcastle, live on Talksport, it could already be must win. It's finished after a dreadful 45 minutes in this second half at the King Power Stadium, and it wasn't much better in the first half. Leicester City 0, Liverpool 3.